course.
And this is Reality Check TV. If you are new to our channel, here's where we discuss some of our favorite reality shows to watch together as a couple. So if you love reality TV like we do, make sure to not only like this video, but subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you can get notified anytime we post a new review.
You guys know you want to hit that
Yes.
button.
And we've been starting every video off by just saying, I want to repeat it again. Please, please, please subscribe. We are trying to meet our goal of 100 subscribers. And we just trying to get there. We just trying to get there. So help us out a little bit. Just help us out. Just a little bit. Do us this one favor. Just this one favor. We won't ask for nothing else.
Nothing else.
Right now. So guys, we are back for a third review. Number 3 of Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. It comes on Bravo. If you don't know it already, guys, I do highly recommend watching the show. If you are not familiar with it, this is its first season. And they've been spicing some things up in just only 3 episodes. So I just recommend that you watch. It's been pretty good.
Surprisingly, it's been interesting.
Yeah.
I was caught off guard.
Yeah. And they did piss me off this episode, but it's okay because sometimes, that just keeps it more interesting. So let's just get into it. So, y'all know I got my handy dandy notes. The episode picks up from this fight that happened last weekend with Amari and Philip. So Philip and Amari going back and forth. I will say my man Amari was not backing down. He was like, listen, if I gotta handle business, I'ma handle business. That's like he turned real hood real fast. He was like, listen, I've been bullied all throughout high school and middle school. Y'all not about to bully me here, and I don't do bullying. So we need to get rid of the bully. Right. So all of the guys was really over it, period. Like all of the guys instantly was like, listen, either he goes or I'm leaving. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt I was proud of the guys with this. Like they really did they didn't allow this man to come in and just talk to them crazy or talk to one of them crazy and then kind of just like not saying anything, not checking.
Oh no, I mean I can tell by the group that wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I had no doubt in my mind. I mean, like I said, some of them know each other prior. I don't think everybody knew Amir prior.
Right, but
when I say know each other, like Silas, of course, knows Preston. That's his blind brother. And who knew Alex? Because I thought Alex is the one that brought Nick.
Jasmine.
Okay. Well, the thing is, like I said, some of them knew each other prior. And just from even before Phil got there, it seemed like the guys, they were kicking it. They seemed like they were all cool with each other. And so, for this dude named Phil acting like he's strung out on coke, come in there and act like he about to run things, like, dudes ain't taking that lightly. And then another thing when it comes to dudes, especially at a certain age, and these guys seem like they're kind of more on the mature stuff. Some of them. It's one of the things where nobody's just gonna stand around and watch somebody try to bully somebody. Like nobody's going for that.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I feel like they do. That's my point. People do.
No, but I'm talking about this group though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that's why I said I was very surprised because I feel like nowadays to stick up for somebody else and whether it's not just you sitting back and filming it or just not doing anything at all, it's very rare now for people to stick up for other people. So I did really appreciate Amari for chiming in. And he was like, because technically Amari wasn't in it, technically. Like Phil didn't say anything to Amari, but Amari was like, no, like you're not about to come up in here and punk us. Like you said something about Preston's shirt. You said something to Alex. You took a shit in Nick's bathroom. Like you're mad rude. Like you need to go. And just shout out to Amari for that. Like he won some cool points for me for that. And I really appreciate that. So like we said, all of the guys kind of linked up and was like, listen, Phil gotta go. We not staying here if he's staying. So the girls were kind of upstairs. All of the other girls was upstairs getting dressed or getting undressed from their night out. And Jordan wasn't in the living room when all of this was happening, but everybody heard the commotion. So Jordan took it upon herself. She was like, listen, I'm going to go pull Phil to the side and I'm going to talk to him. Like, I don't know him personally, but he's a friend of Bria's and Shanice, and I trust their judgment of character. So, like, I think he's a pretty cool person, and I do want him to stay, right? Wrong. She goes and has a conversation with Phil, and it just went completely left. And that's because Phil is a clown. Like, he's just a clown ass dude. Like, he's mad corny. He wants attention. He thinks he's a comedian. Like, bro, like, he's just so lame. He's very lame. And Jordan's trying to have a conversation with him, and it's all a joke. Like, he's just joking. And he keeps saying that this is Bria's fault. Like, Bria, y'all need to be mad at Bria, or we should all be mad at Bria because she's the one that told me that that was my room. Meaning Alex's room, or Nick's room was his room. And Jordan was like, well, no, like, I don't, like, basically, I don't know why it has to be like this. And they're just kind of like going back and forth. Jordan stayed calm for the amount of time that I would have stayed calm. But then, like I said, Phil was like playing in her face and was just like, I called you cute. Like, why you coming at me? And then Jordan was like, oh my God, like, thank you. Like, now my life is complete because I have a compliment from Phil. Like, Phil thinks I'm cute. So, oh my God. Like, she was like hyping it up. This is how Brianna would handle this. And he's just going on and on. And then he was like, I think he told her either to shut up or go away. He was like, because I'll take a shit in your bathroom next. And then she was like, go do it. It's upstairs. Go do it right now. Like, she is like bucking up. And I was like, Jordan, I don't like you, but I like you right here. Because I'm with you. And he's just running off at the mouth. And then she was like, who are you? Like, you're nobody. You're the dude on the couch. She really said MFer, but she was like, you're the dude on the couch. That's your title. Who are you? And you walking around here like you somebody. He's going off more and more. And then once he stood up, she got real hype. She called him a bitch. I was like, wow, this is a mirror. Because what you're not going to do is punk me, especially guys. I don't, like she said, she was like, I don't do well with disrespect. That is me. I don't do well with disrespect. But specifically when it comes from men, because men will try to intimidate you. They just would, especially if you're a pretty face, you're a petite girl. They think that they can intimidate you. And been in situations where men just feel like they can just run off at the mouth and strong arm you. And you have the right one. Because we're not doing this. We're not doing this. So I was here for Jordan in this moment. So after all of that, everybody kind of has like a little house meeting, not including Phil and Mariah. And they kind of all agree that Phil has to go. Everybody says that he has to go. It's just too much drama. He's making everybody feel uncomfortable. And the way he came into the house is just unacceptable. Mm-hmm. So they agree on that. And Jasmine says that the person that invited him should be the person to tell him that he needs to go, which means Bria. Mm-hmm. Bria takes her raccoon-looking self and says, well, I'm ready to go too then. Like, hello, like, you guys aren't paying attention to what happened to me earlier. Like, Mariah put her hands on me. So if Phil has to go, she has to go. I'm not even going to spend too much time on Bria. I've already said I don't like Bria. First impressions are everything. And the way she even came into the house and how she moves, don't like her. Not my type of chick. However, I am very disappointed and like disgusted by the people that were in the house that are Mariah's so-called friends. Specifically Jasmine. Because Jasmine says Mariah is her best friend. Jasmine is Mariah's son's godmother. And for you to allow this girl to create a narrative of Mariah, and Mariah's not even in a room to defend herself, was trash. I don't care if they really did have a physical fight and Mariah was in there throwing fists. I don't care. At the end of the day, she's my best friend and she's not going anywhere. Y'all gonna talk this out, y'all gonna figure it out, we just gonna make it happen. But the fact that they just were so quick to make a decision on removing Mariah from the house, it just really didn't sit well to me. I'm just kind of like, where's the loyalty, where's the friendship? Like, I don't know how you were able to do that, especially because Bria to me was the aggressor. She was the one yelling and screaming, threatening, cussing. She took it to another level. And all Mariah did with the clothes that was in her hand was like push her out of her face. Like, girl, go on. That's basically what she said. And I just feel like for them to compare it to what Phil did that night was just completely, it was just wrong. And that just really, it left a really bad taste in my mouth. Like, for a second I was like, should we continue to watch this show? Like, it was just, I didn't like that. That was, I don't know, like, you don't do your friends that way. And Mariah was really hurt, and she should be. She was really hurt because she says that, for you to be my best friend, for you to feel so comfortable to have a conversation about me without me in the room, just speaks volumes. And
Right.
she was saying how she's now mourning her friendships, and I agree, because that just wasn't right. It was not right.
Right. I don't know. Personally, I kind of feel like Mariah kind of was mentally checking out the house anyways, because I felt like after her, I think it was called a moon mass, and she kind of felt like she was open up to everybody, and how that went south, how she kind of went back into her little hiding cage. um I really felt that really left a bad taste in her mouth. And then, to hear this news, and the thing is, people are having conversations without her around. um and even it's like, and we don't know like what happened off camera, but even the fact of, it seems like Jasmine's the only person that told her bye. It seems
Yeah,
like
the next
it seems
day.
like nobody else came and gave her some words, gave her a hug, told them how they felt. It's just, she probably had that isolated feeling like, oh, ain't nobody alarm me about this, but y'all gonna have y'all good old time. And Bria was just being picky. She was picking with that.
Yeah.
Just because your friend goes home, you want to try to one up somebody. Like, I mean, like I said, it was so stupid. But
Yeah.
Bria's annoying and miserable anyway.
I feel like it's definitely given like high school, like cool kids, popular girls type of thing when it comes to the three girls, Shanice, Jasmine, and Bria.
Mm.
And I can tell because Mariah and Jasmine had a relationship prior to her meeting those other girls. And so I just feel I could definitely see Jasmine constantly switching up anytime the other two come or the other
Mm.
three come around, and it's just it's just very fake and phony to me. I just, you just don't do your friends that way. That was just, no, it was going against girl code. Don't like it.
Seasonal friendships.
Right. So after all of that foolishness that night, everybody's pretty much now going into their rooms to take showers and go to bed. It seems like Preston has his own room, but he's sharing a bathroom and like like a little common hallway
Mm-hmm.
with another bedroom. And I think in the other bedroom is Shanice and Jordan. And I don't know who else, but there was three beds that was in that room. So Preston and Shanice are talking like in their little hallway. And Shanice is like, yeah, she's about to go get in the shower. She's about to go in the bathroom right now. And then she asked, she was like, well, where is Amari or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, cause I wanna F him. I'm really trying not to curse, but I'm trying to F him. And I was just like, okay, so this is the character that Shanice plays. Got it. So Preston goes and sits on his bed, and then Amari comes upstairs. Now by this time, Shanice is already in the bathroom. Amari's trying to use the bathroom, and again, I don't know. I guess this is like the community bathroom. And he knocks on the door, and Shanice says, "Oh, I'm in here," or "Who is it?" or something like that. And Amari's like, "Oh, my bad, I'll come back." And then no, Shanice asked, "Who is it?" He said, "Amari."
And she said, "Come in."
And then she said, "Come in." Amari says, "Oh no, like I'll wait until after you're done." Like, "No, go ahead and take your shower. Like, it's fine." And he leaves and goes in Preston's room to have a conversation with him. Shanice comes out of the bathroom acting as if she did not hear what Amari said. But she comes out the bathroom with a thong and topless. And she's like, "Oh, wait, what?" Like, she plays like the, like the airhead. "Oh, what? Who is that? Who just knocked on the door?" And then they was like, "Oh, it was me, but like, it's fine. Like, you can go ahead." She's like, "Oh, no. Yeah, I was just saying, like, I'm about to take in a shower now. Like, but I'll be really quick. And then, like, you can go in after me. And then, then we could just, like, all go in our rooms." Like, she's just, like, prolonging the conversation. Mind you, she's topless. And she knows what she's doing. And I was like cracking up laughing because I've never seen hoes in action. So I was like, "Oh my God, like, is this how this works? Like, is this what we do? Like, we play that?" And so she goes back in the bathroom, and Amari and Preston's like, "What the, like, that was just really awkward." And even before she went to the bathroom, she was like, "Oh, and yeah, I'm sorry for my boobies to be out." I'm like, "Becky, what is happening? What's happening?"
Well, and I know Amari. It's a challenging situation. I mean, yeah, Shanice is cute, but I mean, I don't feel that's what Amari's striving for. Amari wants Jordan at the end of the day, and when you live in this house and there's only so many people in there, you gotta make your best choice because if you pick one, you cancel out the rest. But Preston read through that. I know he was just like, "What in the world? Like, really, in my room?" And Amari literally was like in the Twilight Zone. Like, did she just walk out here like this?
Amari was not phased to me. He's a man at the end of the day. You see boobs all over, but I think he, like you said, he was just kind of like, what's happening?
Yeah, what's happening?
But he also wasn't like, it didn't do what she thought what it was going to do.
Right.
And that's embarrassing. Now that's embarrassing. You want to be out here thotting and bopping. That's on you. But it's so embarrassing when nobody's catching it. Like, when everybody's like, "That's awkward. That's weird. It's embarrassing." Girl, work on that. One thing that we did forget to mention was, come to find out, Amari was the one that put the dog shit in the dryer. So it was his fault that this whole fight and this fiasco between Bria and Mariah even started. And the fact that he didn't say anything, that made me even more mad. But the next day, Mariah ends up leaving. And like Evan said earlier, nobody says bye besides Jasmine. And she does like this fake, like, tear from like the corner of her eye. Like, girl, now, Jasmine, for the past 2 episodes, I was like, I'm not going to say that I don't like you. It's something about you that I'm like, "Ooh, like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to give you a chance." But this put the nail in the coffin for me. I don't like bad friends. And that was really, really, really poor taste on your part. So the whole gang decides to do a beach day at Inkwell Beach. And so they're preparing to leave. And before they leave, we go to Alex, and he's having a moment in his room to meditate. And he kind of talks about his past and just all of the self-work that he has done over the past few years. Basically, he used to be a player. He used to be out here thotting and bopping. But he's changed his life, and he's trying to just be on a different path right now.
Right.
And so we was just talking about that. And then when he comes out of the room and sees everybody again is about to leave and go to the beach, he brings up, I don't know if Shanice said something to him first, because mind you, Shanice likes Alex. Well, Shanice likes everybody, it seems like. At this point, I'm like, I guess she'll even sleep with Preston. But she likes Alex, so she's been very touchy with Alex since she got to the house. And Alex ain't really feeling that. So he basically says, like, personal space. Just, personal space. And she's like personal space. Like what do you mean? Like, are you scared of me? Like, she's saying this in her confessional. And I'm like, girl, you don't get it. It's not about being scared of you. It's about, we know the reputation and I need you to back up. And we gonna get to her reputation later. But he says that to her and it makes her feel away. So then we ended up in the car and she's expressing to the rest of the girls, like, you know how Alex said that he wanted personal space. So she's like, now it just feels weird. Now I don't even know if I want to talk to him anymore because I don't know what that means. But the girls convince her that she needs to address it once they get to the beach, like address it as sooner rather than later.
So there's a scene in the car. There's a scene where the guys are in the car, and Amari brings up what happened to him upstairs with Shanice. When he was talking to Preston about Shanice coming out the bathroom topless, trying to reel him in, maybe trying to reel Preston into. You never know.
Said that.
But Amari let it be known though that he's here for Jordan, not Shanice. Um, and he did mention too, like with them being good friends, like he would definitely kill his chances with Jordan if he does anything with Shanice. I mean, that's with anybody. I mean, you gotta pick the one wisely. And after that, Silas driving, he asked the guys, so is anybody here else interested in Jordan? In which all the guys agreed they're interested, including Nick, Alex, and we already know about Amari. But I do find it interesting though. They started getting on Nick. They had some questions for him because Nick is known to be in the DMs all the time. Nick's the emoji king. He's the one word, the fire, the hard eyes. He's the emoji king. But I think Silas made an interesting comment saying he's never really seen Nick work in person with a woman in person.
Basically, at first, at the like during the scene, like I felt like he was alluding to that he was gay, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I mean, I low key said that the first episode when we met
Mm-hmm.
him, but then they were then saying that he was in the DMs of Jordan and the other girls. So I was like, oh, okay, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he is, like, which is fine. That's fine.
Well,
But that's what I thought. He was alluding to that to
I
me.
thought honestly from a guy thing, like I truly felt like if Nick was gay, he'd be bisexual. I felt like I don't think he'd just be straight guys. But where I was alluding to, where I felt Silas was trying to say, was alluding to Nick's confidence with women
Mm-hmm.
because you're just in the DMs. I've never seen you do this in person. It's easy to be keyboard warriors and holler at somebody over social media, anything. But in person, it's a different animal. That takes confidence. That takes confidence in yourself, confidence in your walk, how how you carry yourself, what you say. And like I said, he made that comment. He said he just never seen Nick.
That's most of this generation's problem. Don't nobody know how to have conversation anymore in person or how to approach a woman, how to court a woman. Everything is texting, everything is social media. So I could see that. I really did feel like he was alluding to him being
Oh,
gay.
oh no! I
Cause wasn't it Alex? I always get Alex and Nick
mm,
mixed up, but wasn't it Alex that said he's not being truthful
yeah, because
about
his intellectual abilities,
right?
and and where I'm still thinking, when I think of intellectual, yes, you can question sexuality,
Mm-hmm.
but also question your abilities.
No, that's fair. That's
I look at
fair.
that
If
too.
he said
Yeah,
intellectual, yeah,
like
that's
you're
fair.
not confident, like you're kind of shy, you
Right.
scared. So
But they make it to the beach and they have their little field day. At the end of their little games, Shanice takes the opportunity to have a conversation with Alex and
mhm.
pulls him to the side. So she approaches him and she says, like, the comment that you made earlier about like the personal space, like, where did that come from? Like, what did that mean? And in Alex's confessional, he puts out a little nugget that apparently he received some articles about Shanice the night before. And he's just like, I'm not into girls with that type of reputation. So The rumor is Shanice dated an actor, and they said it was an Insecure actor.
Mm-hmm.
I looked him up. I don't remember that episode of Insecure. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know, but it wasn't too many pictures and stuff. But if you guys know exactly who it is, so I can find him on Instagram or something. Put that down in the comments because I was very curious when it said Insecure actor. But apparently, this guy said that Shanice was stalking him, that she was crazy, and I think she mentioned that they were together for like a year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was clearly very toxic, but she was clearly off her rockers. And Alex was not feeling that. He was like, normally Shanice would be my type back in the day, but he's like, I'm not on that. I'm not on that time right now. Like, that's just, it's not it. And on top of that, she also thought and bopping. And I feel like the more thirst you put out there, the less, they're not going to take you seriously. Not these guys on this trip. They just don't seem like the type. Phil probably. And that's why Phil's gone. Because, he's a clown. But I found that to be real interesting.
I don't know. I think it's interesting. She was dating an actor from the show Insecure, and
you about to say something real corny. I can feel the corniness.
She caught me.
I can feel the corniness coming.
Talk about Insecure.
Oh my god. Oh my god, y'all. Anyways. But it was hilarious because in their confessionals, right? Producers asked Shanice, like, so what happened with you and your ex, right? And she says that they were together, I think she said a year or whatever, and that they had a really bad breakup, and he's an upcoming actor, so he had to kind of play it as if she was crazy, I guess, to kind of get put on and to, like, further along his career, which... But what was so hilarious is that her homegirls, Jasmine and Bria, are in their confessionals saying, like, she was in this really toxic relationship and he just made up all these lies about her. And just, he was just trying to make himself look good and just trying to make it seem like she's crazy. Meanwhile, Shanice is like, okay, I did do some of the stuff that they say I did.
She looked crazy.
And then Jasmine, they go to Jasmine's confessional. She's like, I mean, listen, like, if I call you a couple of times, like, that shouldn't be a problem, right? Because Shanice says, I maybe called him a few hundred times. Like, that's not stalking. And Jasmine's like, I mean, that's not a big deal. It just reminds me, guys, I don't know if y'all saw the meme on TikTok where it's a guy and he's basically like, this is how you stick up for your friend or a sister or something. And they like, oh, I murdered somebody. And then the friend is like, I mean, but did they deserve it? Like, like, did you really? Like, it just reminded me of that delusion. So once again, it does show that, Jasmine, you can be loyal, but the loyalty just doesn't go towards Mariah. So that just, again, it just said a lot about you, because clearly this hoe is crazy. And I kind of low-key believe it. I believe that she...
I see it in her.
Because I see it in her, and she's off. And yes, we believe it. I
see it in her eyes.
So Alex, watch your back in this house. Watch your back, because she got her eye on you, and you her next target. So just watch yourself. Okay, so after the beach day, they all go back home. Amari's making dinner. We find out a little bit more about Amari. He said that his mom used to put him like culinary camps when he was growing up. So he knows how to cook, basically. And Preston, I think, Amari asked Preston, like, how you make your mac and cheese? Do you put like breadcrumbs or like crackers on top? And Preston was like, no, because I'm black. And I was like, yes, I'm Preston. Preston is me. Yeah. What kind of question? So after they all get done eating, the whole crew is in the living room / dining room talking, and they're like, listen, we only have like about a week left. We need to go out again. We need to go out clubbing again. And the girls were saying, like, they rather do like one night where it's just the girls and the guys can go out on the town. So we're talking about that, and we can see Silas is kind of getting a little uncomfortable because he don't like his woman going out. And Jasmine makes like a little dig. She was like, "Don't worry, Silas. Like, we'll make sure she back before 3." And again, he's just a little bit in his feelings. He's a little bit butthurt. And it kind of comes out. It's very clear to me who Jasmine is. Because then the conversation then goes into their past and like how they used to be out here in these streets, living it up, which no judgment, that's what we're supposed to be doing, especially in our 20s. Like, of course, live it up. But Shanice kind of puts her on blast and was like, I guess when they used to work at that club in New York, the Playboy Club or whatever, that they showed up to work one time drunk, and that's what ended up getting them fired. Mm-hmm. Like Shanice was basically saying like Jasmine knows how to drink. She knows how to get drunk. And that was not sitting well with Silas. Silas then talks about how, when they first, he's not used to seeing his now wife with her friends, because when they met during the pandemic. Right. About 6 months later, they were engaged, which, whose fault is that? So he didn't get an opportunity to really see her with her friends because they were together all the time during the pandemic. And then the conversation comes up about people buying drinks, right? Because Jasmine, or Shanice probably was like, "Oh, we about to go out. We about to throw some ass." Because that's what Shanice want to do. Shanice want to throw ass. And so she said, "We about to be out here." We about to be out here. And we gonna get some free drinks. And Silas was like, skirt. Hold up. Who getting free drinks? And Giles was like, I mean, what's wrong with getting free drinks? And Silas was like, no, like, Jasmine needs to buy her own drinks. Y'all shouldn't be getting free drinks. Jasmine ain't feeling that. She's not feeling that. She don't understand what the problem is. I personally don't understand what the problem is either. But this is your husband now. And that was a choice.
Like I said, I get what Silas says, but then again, he's more extreme than others. And when I say that, I know what he's talking about when he's insinuating when it comes to Jordan. I think he doesn't mind, honestly. I don't feel like he minds Jasmine going out, but he just doesn't want going out with Jordan.
But it's so funny to me that, because first of all, I want you to elaborate on that. But it's funny because to me, just by that whole scene, Jordan didn't seem to be like the problem. The problem, if you gonna be insecure about who my friends are, and again, I'm playing along because I don't agree with any of this foolishness. But if I'm gonna play along and you are going to be insecure about my friends, Shanice should be the one that you should be like, okay, maybe this energy should have been directed towards her and not necessarily Jordan.
Well, but you remember I don't know if it was the first or second episode when him and Jordan went at it at the dinner table. He made it known there, and he made it known again. So you're bringing it up again, which means you feel some type of way.
Who?
Silas.
No, but who Jordan, brought up what?
I'm saying, remember there at the dinner table. Yeah. And it was like the first or second episode. I remember Silas was talking about Jordan and Jasmine going out.
Yeah.
And about her being out late. That's strike one. He brought it up.
Yeah.
And then remember how this started this time. Jordan made a joke talking about, about bringing Jasmine back home at a certain time or something like that.
Yeah, she said, I'll have him home. She was saying what he said at the dinner table.
But I'm saying, looking at Silas's mannerisms and how he came off, it's one of those things where he still's not over that.
Well, okay, but we're fast forwarding now to the end because Jordan said it, she was like, I just, throwing a little fun. That was it. Mm-hmm. She didn't say nothing else at the table. The people that were talking the most was Shanice. She was talking the most. She was putting Jasmine on blast. And Jasmine and a little bit of Bria. Jordan didn't say anything because I think in her mind she was thinking, see, like I tried to tell you, Silas, it ain't you worried about me, and this the whole you need to be worried about. It ain't me.
Okay, so it's everybody then, because for him, it's like you said, he's not aware truly of how Jasmine was before him. And so for him now, he may feel like all these women are going to influence his wife to go back to these ways, go
Yeah.
back to some of these stories he's hearing.
Yeah. Listen, and on one hand, I am a person that believes that you are who you hang out with. I on one hand. But on another hand is we're very grown now. We're adults now. And I feel like your problem needs to be less with my friends and it's clearly with me. You don't trust me. And I also feel like it shows um the immaturity within their relationship. I think that's a big part of it too. Not only are they immature as individuals, but as a couple, like their actual relationship is very new. Like they had only been together not even a year
Mhm.
until they decided to get married. And I just feel like I'm a firm believer. You need to be with somebody. This is my opinion. I feel like you need to be with somebody through all four seasons so you can see how they are. And when I say all four seasons, basically a year at least. So you really know who they are because clearly he doesn't know this side of her. And it's also clear to me he hasn't been around her friends like that.
Mhm.
And I think that that is also kind of like a little bit of a red flag. Like, I want to meet your
Well,
friends. I want to be around you when you're with your homeboys. So I kind of see how you act and see how your crew is. And I just feel like those little details are very important. So you don't end up in situations like this because now, long story short, Jasmine's starting to question if she made the right decision when it comes to getting married so fast. And I mean, that's what happens.
when it comes to her friends, I felt like if you look at their timeline, with him being gone, I don't know what he was doing in the military. I don't know if it was basic training or overseas on whatever he had to do. But for you to be gone, then come back, and then y'all get engaged so quick and everything, like you said, he didn't have time to meet certain people. He didn't. It didn't seem like he asked certain questions, or when he got back, he didn't. He wasn't exposed to certain things. Like he just jumped the gun,
Right.
and so you do the jumping the gun, you're finding out stuff, and now you're having issues.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and then Silas is also, it just he has a control issue that's very clear. That's what everybody in that room, that was their takeaway, because once Silas and Jasmine left and went to bed, a few of the peoples decided to stay in the living room and still
Mm-hmm.
talk. And Preston was even saying, like, I have other homegirls that express the complexities of dealing with a man or a partner that wants to protect them, but at the same time you want to have your independence. um and it's a hard balance, and I think that we all kind of go through that balance, especially around our age, because I'm gonna assume that everybody there is kind of like around our age.
Mm-hmm.
um and yeah, like you're now just coming out of your party phase, and like you have your friends, and like it's an adjustment. Now you're a wife or now you're a husband and things change. And Jordan and the rest of the girls was just saying, like, he has no idea who Jasmine was pre-pandemic
Mm-hmm.
and pre-marriage. And I can feel that, but at the same time, I don't feel like they should be giving her so much of a hard time on that, because we are supposed to grow up.
Well, I mean, the thing is too, like
Like,
he has to realize, dude, like what she did before you is not gonna change. That was her life. You can't harp on her past. Like,
but men do it all the time. Like, men are able to have a pass, but as soon as they find out that we was having fun too, it's a problem. And it shows up a lot of times, especially early on in the relationship. And then when you are around our friends and you start to hear certain things, I just think it's about figuring out what's a boundary for you and what you can handle and what you can't. But I do think that you need to be secure in your relationship and in your decision on who you chose to marry before you get married.
mm-hmm.
So, because at this point, I don't feel like it should even be a conversation. Like, we shouldn't even have to be talking about buying drinks versus not buying drinks, or, in the club, like whether a guy should buy you a drink or not. Those are conversations that I feel like should have been had
Way
earlier.
early on, and not after you're married.
Yeah. Like, what was y'all
A
talking
lot of
about during the pandemic?
right,
What was y'all talking about?
right.
There was nothing else to do.
I mean, that's a lot of people right now. They don't ask stuff.
They don't ask nothing, and they suffering.
Yep. Okay. So after that conversation was had, the attention and the light was shining on Nick. So Nick sitting at the little dining room table, they decided to ask Nick about his love life. I forgot who asked him, but they said, Nick, how's your love life going? And Nick had it seemed like he had to take a big gulp over there, take a big breath. Um, and he let it be known that his preference is black women. Which was a smokescreen before the smokescreen of what he's about to say, because it just opened Pandora's box. So he let them know that he's actually seeing somebody up in New York. And I know it's so simple to say, oh, you're seeing somebody up in New York, but here's the big thing about it. Prior to coming in this house, Nick has been in every girl's DMs coming to this house, even their mama's DMs and their grandma DMs. As y'all know, the emoji king, he was in Jordan's DMs, Shanice's DMs. And the thing is, he said to Shanice, and here's the funny thing. And I don't understand why guys say this. This is kind of creepy. Before he even got to the house and before he even seen her in person, Shanice said that Nick claimed that he was going to marry her.
That's very creepy. I don't like that, guys. Ew. Like, what is that?
And then come to find out while Bria was talking, Bria claimed Nick was in her DMs too. Good. But yeah, her DMs too. And Nick does not understand how this makes him look now.
I don't believe Bria, but I don't like her stuff.
He doesn't understand how this makes him look now. So you've been hollering at everybody, but you've had a girlfriend the whole time.
You believe that he has a girlfriend?
I believe he may be seeing somebody, but it ain't no girlfriend. It ain't no girlfriend. I believe he may be dating somebody, seeing somebody, whatever, but I don't believe it's a girlfriend. But I can say maybe, because let's go back to that conversation in the car. When Silas talked about Nick and how he has never seen him in action, everything's over social media, DMs. And, I mean, as y'all women know, give you something out the playbook. Most guys that have girlfriends tend to cheat over the phone.
But if I send you a DM, like, that's actually more proof because I have it in writing.
But thing is, like I said, these guys,
right.
you go for people that you feel does not know anybody that you may know.
But he did the complete opposite.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
So,
I know. That's
so what point are you trying to
I'm just saying that's how guys do. But I'm saying Nick was just so he was just so fuck it. That's what he just went for it. Shit. I mean, if you're so-called relationship, you tell another woman I'm gonna marry you.
I don't know, guys. I don't really have a I haven't really been able to form a full opinion on Nick just yet. Wait, is this Nick or Alex?
This is Nick.
See, I always get them mixed up.
And
I haven't formed a full
more is starting to come out about Nick. So his little stay quiet, dapper ordeal, extensive wardrobe. We're starting to find out more about him. I said we hope y'all enjoyed this recent episode. Hope y'all enjoyed the review. We're definitely gonna review again next week. I feel like how it ended is going to carry over to next week. So hopefully we get more answers about Nick. But you guys tell us what you think in the comments. Stop being scared. Stop being scared to subscribe and like. Y'all know y'all want to be here.
Yes.
Do you have any parting words for our guests?
No, just subscribe. Just subscribe.
Well, on that note, we appreciate y'all for another episode of Reality Check TV. And y'all know how we end it. Drink your water. Be safe in these streets.
Bye.